And very rude people, yes.
Who basically called me fat at her yard sale when I picked up a pair of jeans to resell, and she said, "Are those your size?"
Blondie, check this out.
This is new in the box.
Would you take 5 for this?
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Pickin' Ain't Easy with Bill and Blondie. If you are new to the channel, we are a husband and wife duo that decided to start reselling in February of 2020 with absolutely zero knowledge about reselling, eBay, Poshmark, any of it, and $120 in our pocket, and this is our journey. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Usually we would show you what we got it'd be a yard sale video and what we got. The yard sales this weekend were really bad. Everything was extremely overpriced, and a lot of it was worthless, to be honest with you. I mean, there were like Old Navy jeans for $15 at yard sales this weekend. It was not a good weekend for yard sales here.
And rude people.
And very rude people, yes.
Who basically called me fat at her yard sale when I picked up a pair of jeans to resell, and she said, "Are those your size?" Super rude.
So we wanted to shift focus and make this video kind of about a skincare buy that Blondie made on Facebook Marketplace. Once we got it home and started kind of like, well, Blondie was lotting it out, it was looking really good. As far as the profit we were gonna make, we've sold some. We've been selling them like hotcakes. It's been crazy. But I'm gonna let Blondie get into the details of it, and go ahead, Blondie.
Okay, so basically, I purchased a bulk lot of Clinique and Estee Lauder sample size skincare on Saturday, and it was $20. I offered the lady $15. She said no. I went ahead and decided that it was worth the $20, and we did porch pickup. She made me pay through Facebook Pay, which I wasn't 100% comfortable with, but she had a high seller rating on Facebook, so I felt comfortable with that. Went to her house, picked it up on the porch. It was just in like a grocery bag. When we got it home, a few hours later, we started looking through it, and most of it looked like really good. And I opened one that looked like it had been used. And I had specifically asked her if they had been used, and she's like, "No, I picked through and pulled out all the ones that have been used." And so I thought, well, that's okay if she accidentally like threw one in that's been used. And they had just kind of been like thrown in the bag, so a lot of them were upside down. And so I'm going through, I'm looking, they look okay. And like the next day or two, we start listing, and they're listing really well, between like I would say $15 and $35. So was like, and some of them were in like lots of 3, but either way, we were gonna absolutely make good money off of these. And so they start selling, and so this morning we actually had 3 to ship off, like 3 different orders of just this.
It's 4.
4.
Yeah, 4.
To ship off. So that tells you how well they've been selling, and that's just today. So Tim is making a little box for one of the, actually it was this one of the Estee Lauder night creams.
It's sold.
And he just so happens to open it up just to double check it, and look at this. It is not good. It's been used. Look at that. Don't ask me. And I thought, like, how in the world did I miss this? Like, I checked all these, but what I think happened was the ones, so I think it was upside down in the bag. It was like 100 degrees outside. And so when I turned them over, so we bring them in, we just leave them in the bag. They cool down. When I flipped it over, initially it had been hanging upside down. I think that all of that product was sitting at the top looking completely smooth, like it was full. And then as it settled, after I set everything up nicely, a few days later, we start going through, and, after Tim found this one, we start going through a lot of them that I had already listed, And a lot of them looked like this, which maybe, yeah, I missed one. That would make sense, but I didn't miss 10. So, like, this is a really bad one. Like, I mean, that's terrible. I mean, that is really, really bad. And I had that listed. I mean, I don't know how this happened. I don't know. Like, look at that. I don't know if it was the heat from being on her porch, if it just separated the product. But, like, I mean, that's not okay. And, like, I'm just showing you guys, like, a few.
This one has a dog hair in the cap. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see that. Yeah, you kind of see it.
Yeah, like another one where it's just not good. And there's several. I mean, we could show you. I'm just going to show you. These are all of the ones that I purchased that we cannot sell. Because they've been used. And so that's really disappointing because these are all the ones we have left that I can sell and that hopefully are okay. I mean, we've checked them, so I mean there shouldn't be anything wrong with them, but I mean it's concerning. I think that's what's got us the most worried, because before we realized this, we shipped out
one order.
Yeah, it was one order, and it was a lot of 3 of the same one. And even though I checked them like right after we brought them inside, so like they were okay, but I don't know what happened. I mean, we keep them in our home where it's temperature controlled, so nothing happened to them once they got in our home because we sat them out to take photos and that's it. But this is just really upsetting.
I'm having some bad luck lately
with the bulk buys.
Yeah.
So basically, I feel upset because I feel like, I don't know if something happened to these while they were in the bag with them on her porch, and it being so hot, but they weren't on her porch for long because she messaged me and said that she was on her way home and she was going to sit them on her porch. And I would say we got there within like an hour.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. And it's not like they were sitting in direct sunlight either. But I mean, it was a really hot day. So I don't know. A lot of things could have happened. But to me, there's maybe like a 10% chance that I'm going to reach back out to her just because, like, I paid for these and
$20.
And like, even if they were just for me, I'm not going to use a jar of skincare that somebody else has dipped their fingers into. That is completely unsanitary. And that's why it's so important to us. And we were like mortified when we found out, because we had to message that buyer and say, I am so sorry. Like, this one, we just said it was like broken or something, because it basically is. I mean, you cannot sell that. And we refunded her immediately. But I mean, that's terrible. We feel absolutely terrible that happened. And we felt like we did our due diligence. We picked them up, paid for them, asked if they were new, checked and made sure that they looked new. And
we checked them.
Yeah, and that's it's the weirdest thing, because I'm like, what is happening to this product? It's like it was disappearing as the days went by. So yeah. Literally, I'm not sure. I guess there could be like a few things that happened, but anyway, I think that it has to do with the fact that, number one, I think a lot of it had been used, even if it was a minimal amount. And I think that, coupled with the fact that it was like some of them were just thrown in the bag upside down in the heat. And I think some of that maybe seeped into the lid and it just caused some separation of the oils in the product. So all that to say, I think we're still going to make a fairly decent profit on this, but like we would not make this buy again just because of the sheer stress of it all, and we would never want to sell a bad product. So no. Yeah, so that happened. So Saturday overall, terrible yard sales. Everything was overpriced junk. I mean, it wasn't even overpriced good stuff. I mean, people were just wanting a ton of money. There's no way anybody sold a ton of stuff at their yard sale Saturday. We went to 3 neighborhood sales, some single home sales. Nothing was great. And then we made this buy thinking, well, this will redeem the day. And this has now happened. And we thought for a few days that it did redeem the day, but it didn't. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, we'll still make good money. So. but
Yeah.
it just like what'd you say? It was like a third of the product?
Yeah, a third of the product, like we cannot, at least a third cannot be used, cannot be sold or used. So,
And we're out PayPal fees for that order we had to refund.
yeah,
So, but you know what? At least we refunded it before we actually sent it to the buyer and gave them
yeah.
that inferior product.
That would have been so embarrassing. I would have just died.
So, what do you guys think? Should we reach out to this seller and be like, "Hey, WTF?" Let us know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed it, and hit that bell so you know when a new video goes live. We try to do like 2 a week, maybe more. And remember, guys, picking ain't easy.